Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be just taking 5 to 7 minutes. I'll not be taking much of the time. I'm standing here to strike a different note. Before beginning, please try to understand that I'm not against technology, because I'm one of the technologists who are the torch bearers in bringing technology to education. Whatever I'm going to speak for the next 5 to 7 minutes are my observations out of my 35 years of teaching experiences. And I've seen the technology growing, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you that whether technology in education is a boom or a bane. We'll have to decide. To begin with, the kind of roadmap or the points which I'm going to ponder upon is how the era has changed, how technology has grown, and it has come to the classroom. I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking something about information explosion, the ways and means for archival and retrieval. There's a phase shift. There's something, there's a difference between the tutor and the tutelage. I'm going to talk about the present state of the art, that what technology has done in the classroom and where we are presently standing. And I'm going to talk about the way forward, because the theme of the delivery intends to. The very first slide says the thought process, the growth of the thought process in us. Look to this slide very carefully. See, since first, second, third, and fourth stage, all these 4 stages had a purpose, isn't it? It had a purpose behind thoughts. There is a purpose of banana in the very first stage, and look to the 4th stage wherein the ideas were bubbling out in the thought process. But look to the last stage. There's no purpose. There's no purpose, because we are all after Boolean. We are all after what? 0 and 1s, and there is no purpose. So my point starts from here. The second thing, I'll take you to the evolution process of tutelage, starting from the hornbook to the school slate. I still remember my school slates, to the chalkboards, pencils, overhead projectors, ballpoint pen coming into picture, handheld calculators. I suppose that reminds most of us, the era bygone. Now this is where it has come, from Plateau computers to CD-ROMs, and herein the technology moved inside the classroom, wherein the interactive whiteboards came into picture. Eye clickers, and now finally we are all into what? An iPad mode. All of us carry an iPad. I carry technology with me. I do not only carry a telephone exchange, I carry a supercomputer, a cloud with me. And presently, the development has come that we all are dependent on one thing that is known as cloud. I do agree the need of cloud. I wonderfully agree the need of the cloud. I am one of the developers of the cloud. But where are we? Let's look to it. This is my second slide. Can you see where the problem in this slide is? You've got a lot of information around you, absolutely lot of information on anything and everything. But look where the brain is. They're all mechanical. They're all gears. We are more robotic. We are more mechanical. Let me talk about the positive side. All the speakers before me and after me are wonderfully stating the positive side of the technology. Yes, I understand. Information is now an ocean, wherein you can find anything and everything at lightning pace. At what? 24/7/365. Maybe we can define any other modus of this information availability. Countless modes. Earlier, I still remember I used to run to the computer center of IIT Kanpur to get some information, and I still remember that I used to carry pillows to my library. Because that has got an approach of information. That has got an approach of seeking and getting the information. And you have that enthusiasm. You've got that pleasure of getting the information out of it. The handy and served on the bed. Please look to the last point. The information is what? Handy and served as a platter on the bed. Because I'll use this word bed once again in my presentation. Now, where are these traits gone? We do not explore anything. No. Because we let Google explore for anything. Yesterday when I was traveling in the cab wala does not knew where this place is. I was not exploring. I was not talking to people. I went into my Cyjek and asked my Cyjek or my Google map to let me reach to a spot. And you know what happened in that? Today in the morning, we both were lost again. Because I didn't mark in my brain the points in between or the earmarks or the landmarks. Because I was primarily dependent on what? Google Map. Did I say that Google Map is a wrong thing? No. But how do we take it up is the crux of the matter. Creativity. We all sitting in this room, let us give an assignment. Forget about the students. If an assignment is given over here, the assignment is primarily being fetched from Google, Wikipedia. Furthermore, what? Blackle. Furthermore, if you're more enthusiastic, then what? Mathematica, Wolfram Alpha. So where my creativity is. Recently we conducted a competition on creativity in Himachal and Chandigarh. More than 800 schools participated, and we had more than 2,000 entries. And you know, the originality was there only in 40 entries. Can you believe that? So that is my observation. I asked my students for an open book, open notes examination. And you know, they do not bring books or they do not bring notes of the classes. They bring the PowerPoint printouts of my PowerPoint presentations. Easiest way. They do not make notes because they know that I'm going to upload my PPTs there. The problem is, if they are not making notes, they are not reading every day. They're waiting for the examination to be declared by me, that okay, I'm going to take your exam next week, Wednesday, and then they start not exploring. Then they start mugging, then they start digging into Google, because Google is readily available. I'm not against Google, for sure. I'm not against Google, but I'm against the philosophy. The time to accomplishment, as I already said, that they primarily look into what? Easiest solution. They do not want to brew coffee. They want to open up the pouch and make the instant coffee. Because until and unless you have brewed the coffee, you haven't understood the procedure of making a coffee. I'm not against the instant coffee. I'm not against the instant coffee. I am with the instant coffee, but I should be knowing the practices and procedures because I'm learning that subject. I'm not studying that subject. Please mind you. So they are into what? Study mode. They are not into learning mode, because they consider that even if I have passed the examination, if anybody is going to ask question about maybe a diode, I'll just simply go over there. Okay, sir, this is diode. That is one aspect. The last thing, brainstorming. They do not believe in brainstorming because all anonymous friends are there. You go to a blog, you even do not have to write that how do I write a JavaScript for an hash function. There are umpteen blogs available wherein people have already debated, so I do not even look to it. I just cut, copy, paste and submit it. If I'm a smarter student, what I'll do, if he has used I as a variable, I'll use I1 as a variable and submit it back so that plagiarism software cannot identify. So that kind of smartness is being instilled. Now this is the state of the art. The technology has positivity, but it has outgrown to an extent that we have let it ride over our thoughts. This is my personal opinion. Aren't we overdoing? Especially in education. Especially in classroom. Aren't we overdoing technology? This is my kind of thing. The need of the hour is that we need to craft a trade-off between what? Technology and tutorship through human. The class cannot be conducted on bed. Do you remember that word, which I have already used? The class can never be conducted on what? On bed. I do understand that if there might have been a virtual conference, you might have never ever seen my expressions like this. You might have never ever felt my presence like this. Exploration, not by the chip, but by an individual to be promoted. Because that is why I always mention that look to this room. There is nothing in this room which is invented in India, which has got a patent in India. Did I say by an Indian? No. There are not many things which have got patents by Indians, but not primarily done in India. Because somewhere my creativity is lost, my originality is lost, and I'm more into what? Run for the mill. A lot of gears are there in my mind. And my gray cells are happily resting. The answer is, access should be there, but it should be need-based and justifiable access. If I have uploaded my PowerPoint presentation, my student will only get access to that once he is able to convince me that he is ready to take that presentation and he has done primarily his homework very well before he gets that presentation. Get the information if and only if one is justified through efforts for need. You need to justify before you get the information. So let's strike a balance between the technology. Let me tell you, I teach that subject only. I teach artificial intelligence only. Let the artificial intelligence be for the gadgets and gizmos. The inducted intelligence looks wonderful with air conditioners and washing machines. But inducted intelligence and artificial intelligence is not meant for my students. Because he's not going to solve numericals. He's going to solve problems. Thank you so much.